Hello everyone, and welcome to a special edition of Secret to Silicon Valley with your intrepid host, Bradley Naranch. Neo, Alpha, Romeo, Alpha, Neo Charlie Hotel. It is 7:17 Pacific Daylight Time, and I'm coming to you from the Santa Cruz Mountains in the town of Woodside, just outside of my cottage, for the second in my foreign policy social messaging series. Today I'll be talking about climate change and greenhouse gas emissions and outlining the steps I intend to take in the first year of my presidency in 2025 to bring together representatives from the world to address this issue. It is the second top priority of my foreign policy agenda following peace for Israel and Palestine. And both of these issues will be addressed by me and my cabinet in 2025, the first year of my presidency after what I hope will be a successful political campaign in 2024. I was a historian who specialized in global and environmental history while a postdoctoral research fellow at Stanford University, as well as a professor at the University of Montana. And when I left academia, I also founded an environmental consulting company here in Woodside that worked with small groups of Silicon Valley tech and social media companies to promote green products and sustainable solutions using their online platforms. I also, as lead guide of SV1000, organize global seminars that bring together some of the world's most influential thinkers and leaders to discuss matters relating to the environment and to climate. So I consider myself to be an expert in this field, not in terms of the science, but in terms of the history and policy. My proposal for helping to supercharge not just the debate, but concrete steps regarding climate change and limiting of greenhouse gas emissions follows a similar three-conference format that I outlined earlier for Israel and Palestine. There will be a series of three gatherings to take place beginning in January of 2025 in Shanghai, China, in New Orleans, in the U.S. state of Louisiana, and in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. The first of these meetings will begin in China to coincide with the Chinese New Year on January 29th in 2025. The second gathering in New Orleans will coincide with the start of the Lenten season following Mardi Gras. And the final meeting in Rio will take place during the Easter weekend. These are important milestones in the calendar, and also I think help to set into motion something that I believe is essential. A coordination between states, corporations, and environmental groups to shape consumer behavior in a way that reduces greenhouse gas emissions and creates a more efficient and optimal use of the limited resources that we have at our disposal. The first gathering in China will be a traditional international gathering of states. All states recognized by the United Nations will be invited to attend, and the G12 countries, the 12 leading countries, will create a fund that will be used to help provide travel grants and other support for the countries whose GDP places them in the bottom 10th percentile, as determined by the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. The way that the gathering will work is that a 2/3 voting majority of gathered delegates will be necessary in order to agree upon government policy regarding ways to mitigate climate change and ways to encourage the use of renewable energy such that greenhouse gas emissions produced primarily through the burning of fossil fuels is reduced. China, as the world's largest country, will receive 100 delegates, and other countries in the world will receive a proportion of that delegate based upon their population size. That is to say, if a country has 1/10 the residents of China, they would receive 10 votes. I believe this is an equitable means of representing all members of the population, and indeed having China take the lead and beginning this conference in Shanghai sends a message, I think, of how significant it is that this great country and dynamic economy, the world's largest country, be involved in this process and not be treated as an outsider. The second gathering in New Orleans will be a gathering of the world's top 100 corporations and businesses, as determined by Forbes magazine, based on net worth and a variety of other financial criteria. This will, of course, include both energy companies as well as tech companies, as well as a variety of other businesses. And here, the world's wealthiest company will receive 100 voting shares, and the remaining 100 delegates will receive voting shares in proportion to their net worth. This, I believe, also is an equitable means for allowing the businesses that drive the world economy to have a say in how they intend to go about creating the foundation for a circular economy and for promoting green technology. We cannot treat businesses, even fossil fuel companies, as antagonists here. They often contain the seeds of innovation and will help us find solutions. The final gathering in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil will involve 100 leading environmental organizations who have a proven track record in promoting environmental causes and in helping to raise public awareness regarding the imminent dangers of climate change. Here, I as one of the organizers of the conference, will set up a system through which environmental groups can apply to be one of those 100 delegates at this final gathering. And voting there will be based upon membership numbers in each of these organizations. Again, at all of these gatherings, a 2/3 voting majority will be necessary for any particular policy statement to emerge. So we will have, at the end of these three conferences, an international statement, a statement by the world's leading businesses, and also a statement by the world's leading environmental nonprofit organizations. At which point, at the next gathering of the United Nations General Assembly, we will present to the world a policy document outlining steps to be taken based upon these three preliminary gatherings, and that will be voted on by the entire General Assembly. And assuming that we have a successful document, I will then work with the Secretary General of the United Nations to create a new organization with the acronym E.A.R.T.H, Environmental Alliance for Research, Technology, and Health. This new international organization to be created within the United Nations framework will promote green technological innovations and will also help to transmit the message to the world. I thank you again for listening, and I will be posting this on social media later. So thank you, and Rafael.